Hello, our cows. Happy Thursday. I am coming to you live today for Live Wednesday. Even though it's Thursday, it's been a little crazy busy past couple of weeks for me. So I apologize for the delay, but I wanted to talk to you guys today about the basics of this business. And how to really grow your customer base, because this is a struggle that I hear among so many people, not only on our team, but within Scentsy in general. And I think we've evolved a lot in the past few years, and so much has changed that we kind of forgot our roots. We kind of forgot, like where we came from and how to actually utilize the basics of this business for the growth of your business, okay? Sorry, I'm just trying to get set up here. I have to open comments. Oh, I can see comments. Hi, Heather. For once, I can see comments. I never am able to see comments. Go back. Anyway, guys, I want to talk to you, like I said today, all about parties, okay? Let me know right now, how many of you are currently consistently doing parties in your business, okay? Let me know. Drop a 1 in the comments if you consistently book parties every single month. Drop a 2 if you're sporadic, okay? And it's totally fine. There's no right or wrong way. Everybody works their businesses differently. But I'm curious to see where the line is with partying, okay? If you are somebody who really doesn't party, maybe you just, you let your customers know about the Disney LTOs or the specials that we have going on, put a 2 in the comments for that. And if you are consistently booking parties in your business, drop a 1 in the comments, okay? No shame here. It's good. It's helpful for me to interact with you, okay? So, for those of you who don't have many parties, right? Heather says number 2, okay? If you're not booking many parties in your business and you dropped a number 2, I'm curious to know what your business looks like, okay? Do you find you struggle each month to get sales in your business? Do you find that maybe not a lot of people are buying, or that you only have a small list of people to touch base with? Maybe it's even the same few people every couple of months, right? Maybe you don't even have the same people ordering from you every month. I would bet, in my experience, that is the case if you are not booking parties consistently in your business. Jackie says, I try to book parties, but get one person to book every 4 months or so. Okay, great. We're going to dive into this, guys, okay? So listen, first of all, the past few years, Scentsy has evolved so much. As a whole, as a company, we've had so many new products. We have so many new programs like Scentsy Club. We have a Disney partnership. We have all of these. It feels like every week there's a new LTO coming out, right? Every week it's oh my God, this is dropping Monday. And then everybody scrambles, everybody hustles, everybody messages their customers to let them know about the LTOs that are coming out. And then that Monday comes that you either get your sales or you don't, right? And then you're kind of back left at square one, waiting again for Thursday when Scentsy tells us the next LTO that's about to drop, right? Raise your hand if that's kind of like the hamster wheel that you feel you've been in. Because I can tell you I've been there myself. But what I will say is that although LTOs are great, and although I'm thankful for them, even the flash sale that we most recently had, they're awesome, right? They're a great boost in PRV if you leverage them effectively. But if you don't have a customer base to offer these LTOs to, guess what? You're not going to have much success with these LTOs, right? How many of you, how is your flash sale experience, okay? I've heard varying things. Some people had major PRV boost. Some people didn't get any sales, maybe 1, maybe 2, right? And it's all different. It really depends on, your customer base and who's purchasing from you and how many people you're offering these LTOs to and these specials to. But again, if you don't have a customer base, if you don't have a large customer base and a foundation of people to share Scentsy with, then you're not going to have much success, right? So I want to help you build that customer base. I want to help you build a foundation for your business that is going to set you up for every single promotion that you offer your customers. And that doesn't mean that every single customer is going to buy from you every single time, but there is power in numbers, okay? And the more people you have specials that you can, or the more people that you have to offer your specials to, the more likelihood of them ordering, right? Which increases your PRV. Okay, Angela says, I haven't done any parties. I'm scared to do one because I have no idea what I'm doing. Listen, Welcome to the club, okay? I'm socially awkward, right? Listen, you and everybody else is socially awkward. You and everybody else have at least people, newer people or people who have never done parties have never done it before, right? But you don't know it because you've never done it. The only way to get good with it is to actually do it, okay? So I'm going to dive a little bit more into that on how you can start to kind of like educate yourself on those things and diving into it. But guys, I'm a big believer in hands-on. The best way that you're going to learn how to do things is by getting your hands dirty and jumping in and trying it, and be willing to mess up, right? My very first party that I ever had was a home party. Well, I shouldn't say my very first party. I built my business on Facebook parties. I'll talk about that in a second. But my very first home party that I did was a complete nightmare in my own perspective of what a home party should look like. And I remember it was with a coworker because I was working full time at the time. And this coworker that I had, she ended up like being like, yeah, I'll do a party. Like she told me she wanted to do the party, or she said like, hey, can we do a party? And so I didn't ask. I wasn't asking people. I just happened to land this party, and it was my very first one. And I had her she told me she was going to invite like 15 to 20 people there. I was so excited. I prepared so much for it. I looked up all the YouTube trainings. I found so many ideas. I had little goodie bags and probably a bunch of things that I didn't even need to do. And I remember going there that day, and we were literally sitting around the whole time waiting for people to show up. And I think maybe like 2 people other than the host came. And I had games prepared. And I remember like I thinking to myself, like trying to be professional. And I kept thinking to myself, all right, I'm still going to go along with this. So the 3 people that were there, including the host being the 3rd person, I was like, okay, we're going to play this game. And I started to play the game. And the host was like, we don't really need to play games, do we? And I was crushed. And it was my first party. And I just remember I left that party crying. I had like 0 sales. I had maybe somebody bought like a 6-pack of ours or something. And I was so sad. I cried in my car when I left. But let me tell you, I used that as a learning experience for the next time. And I told myself, you know what? Like, this happened because of whatever, right? I mean, I don't remember what it was at the time, but I could say, okay, maybe the reason why there were only 3 people showed up was because I didn't work with my host. I didn't make sure that she got her people there or that she was excited about her party, right? There's a number of different things that go into parties and how to make them successful. And that's another conversation for another day. But I want to tell you before I even get into like parties and all that, is just that you have to be willing to try. In this business, in order to be successful, you have to be willing to try and fail and mess up a bunch of times in order to get it right, or in order to get it to a point where you feel good about it. Because there is no really right or wrong way. I shouldn't say right, because everybody does things differently. But where you feel the fruits of your labor are worth it, right, is because you're trying and you're implementing. If you're not implementing, you can watch all the trainings that you want. You can look up all, like, how to do all the things. But if you're not implementing things into your business, how are you going to know what works, right? And it's also the only way to get outside your comfort zone. If you're scared of doing parties, like, I mean, listen, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, you guys, but this is network marketing, okay? If you're not willing to have conversations with people, if you're not willing to step outside your comfort zone, if you're not willing to do things that make you a little nervous, you're probably in the wrong business. And I don't mean that to like ruffle feathers or anything. I'm telling you genuinely from my heart that you have to do things to push yourself outside your comfort zone in order to grow. I've grown so much in my past 7 years with Scentsy because I implemented things. I tried things, even when I felt nervous, even when I felt like I don't know what I'm doing. I watched what others did, but not only did I watch what others did and I absorbed information, but then I implemented that into my business, regardless of how scared I was, okay? And that's how you find out what works for you. You find out your groove, you find out your rhythm, you find out like your things, right? And then when you feel confident about yourself, you can start sharing that with other people and inspire others to do the same, okay? All right, so LTOs, right? They're great. They're a great way to, to offer, like, I'm so thankful for our LTOs. I'm so thankful for the opportunities and the products and the promotions that Scentsy has that they offer to us on pretty much a weekly basis to help boost our PRV. And again, if you leverage them effectively, they can be great. However, you will not build a sustainable customer base solely on LTOs. It's 100% a fact. You cannot rely, because the thing is that your customers will end up getting what's called buyer fatigue, okay? Where every week you're like, hey, we have this. Hey, we have this. Hey, there's this going on, right? And you might have people that happen to, take you up on your offer. But guess what? How many times do you message somebody and they're like, oh no, I'm good on Scentsy, or I just stocked up like last month. I don't need anything right now, right? Because you just offered to them or they just purchased or whatever. So you are constantly like letting them know about the offers, which I think we should, never not let somebody know of your offer, because at the end of the day, you don't know their financial situation. You don't know their Scentsy addiction situation, right? They could, like, I have customers who do opt into every offer. So definitely offer. I'm just saying, don't expect every single customer to take you up on that. And you certainly can't expect to build your customer base based off of repeat orders all the time, because you're just relying on those same people to keep ordering from you and you're not growing, right? And I've used this analogy probably for as long as I can remember. So if you've heard this before, I'm just going to say it again. But like, this is your Scentsy circle, okay? These are the people in your quote unquote warm network who buy from you, who host with you. Maybe they host with you, I don't know. But they're your customer base, right? Like, they support you pretty much every time you have an offer or a special going on, they'll order. But your circle is only so small, okay? And you're never going to get outside that circle if you don't party, okay? Parties are the bread and butter of your business. If you feel like your customer base is small, or you feel like you can't get outside that customer base, or you feel like you don't have enough people to order from you every single month, right? I know sometimes when I say these things, you're probably thinking, oh, well, easy for you to say, you have a large customer base. I built my customer base. I built my customer base from scratch, from zero. My very first paycheck with Scentsy was $20 because I pretty much barely did anything that month, the first month that I joined, okay? But I will tell you, I built my business through parties. At the time, I was doing Facebook parties heavily. I was doing them every single week. Probably more than I should have. I was doing them Saturdays and Sundays before we had group scheduling, before we had all sorts of things. And my head would literally be in my phone like this, Saturdays and Sundays, like a maniac. I was working full time at the time. But I built my business up to director in 6 months through parties, okay? I did that because I had parties on my calendar every single month. And regardless if I got PRV on my party or not, guess what? I was still meeting people. I was still adding people to social media. I was still having conversations with new people every week about Scentsy, building relationships with people. And as I built these relationships and added these people to social media, I would still share my business about Scentsy. I would share how excited I was about like the things that Scentsy was doing for my life. And I started to pique interest in people who were like, oh, wait, hold on. She looks like she's having a lot of fun with this. What is this, right? But that's because I was meeting new people, right? And that's the thing. Parties allow you the opportunity to grow your customer base. They allow you the opportunity to meet new people in your business, okay? Parties are key, you guys. They are key to a successful business. And I haven't talked about this a lot because I feel like we've evolved a lot as a company. And I feel like even I went through a period where I stopped partying, especially through COVID. We had... Like, I stopped doing home parties, I stopped doing vendor shows, and I was reliant on online. But because we had all these LTOs that were coming out, and we had all these great specials and Scentsy Club and all these other things that I was getting my customers interested in, I kind of stopped partying. And I developed a mindset where parties were dead. I did. I even said it loudly on social media that parties were dead, because that was a time or a season that I was in where I felt like that was true. But let me tell you, they're not dead. My business took a huge dip when I stopped partying. I can tell you 100% that I felt the dip in my business when I stopped partying. Because if you're not partying, that means you're not meeting new people, okay? And the only way that you could run your business without parties is if you are high intentionally networking every single day on social media. And I'm talking like literal networking, going into groups, making friendships, going on hashtags, looking up hashtags, friending people, doing all the things that it's a lot of work and it's exhausting. So parties can be a simple way to introduce Scentsy to a bunch of people at once and make new friendships, make new relationships, and meet new customers for your business to develop relationships with going forward, okay? But I'm telling you, parties are key. They're going to be the bread and butter to your business, okay? Back when I was doing parties and my business was escalating, like highly growing very fast, we didn't have Scentsy Club and we didn't have LTOs at the time. Every now and then Scentsy would come out with a special, but we didn't have all the things that we have now. And again, I think because I personally got to a space where I was relying on that and I wasn't partying, I sort of felt the dip. And so I want to come on here and chat with you guys about parties, because I really feel like if you're feeling stuck or you feel like you can't grow, it's probably because you're not booking parties. And if you say, well, I asked my friends to party, but nobody wants to party, I'm going to ask you, how many people did you ask? Okay. I'm going to ask you, you know, how big is your list? How many people are you currently offering parties to? How are you asking them, right? Like there could be a number of different things. Sometimes just the way you're wording it, just the way you're saying it can matter. And I know that sounds silly, but it's so true. So, there is, you guys know I've talked about this before, but we have our team board, okay? It's the Boards app. I have all of my verbiage, all of my lingo, everything that I say to my customers when I go to follow up, when I go to get bookings, asking them about joining or hosting or anything like that is literally in this board, on our team board. So if you haven't seen the team board, go in the pinned announcements of this group. You'll have to like put in your email, like click the link, then put in your email, and you'll have access to the team board. And you can literally take all that verbiage and just send it in a text message on your phone's keyboard, copy and paste, boom. All right. Obviously you want to edit it to make it sound like you, but it's all right there. Okay. If you're worried about like, oh, what to say, because I know that's another thing. Sometimes people are like, I don't know what to say to get bookings. It does matter. Wording matters, lingo matters, how you're saying it, how you're presenting this offer matters. Okay, so if you're reaching out to people and you're saying, hey, I'm trying to hit a goal this month, do you want to book a party with me? That's not gonna work. If you say, hey, you know, I don't know, if you say something like, I don't know, I try not to use the word party. I try not to use the word make it about me and say, hey, I'm shooting for a promotion this month, or I'm going for a goal, or even posting that on social media. Will somebody help me hit my goal? Guys, if you're saying that, I don't know if you are, but please don't do that. It is so cringy when people say that. When I see people say that on social media, that to me, I scroll right past. Even if they're in other companies and they're saying that, I scroll right past because it's about them. And that is clearly about you. This is not about you trying to help me. And our job as consultants is to get our customers the best deals, right? So you can say something to your customers like, hey, I know you had your eye on this fragrance, or I know you had your eye on that warmer. I would love to set you up with an event where you invite a few of your girlfriends, and I could totally help you get that for 50% off. Another thing too is I feel like the words free and half off go over people's heads, right? Like I find when I say to people about getting bookings, I don't say, hey, you get free and half off Scentsy, because they're like, okay, what's that? But I give them something tangible. Even saying 50% off a warmer is a lot more tangible than free and half off Scentsy. Or sometimes even I'll get that warmer for you for free. Like to them, I feel like when I tell people they'll get it for free, it almost feels to them it's too good to be true, or they feel like they're going to be tied down to something or obligated to something or have to pay something, because the direct sales industry is sketchy, and unfortunately it is what it is. So you have to be transparent about what they're getting themselves into. Obviously, for hosting a party, you want to let them know for sure, you know, qualifying party, this and that. But if I would touch base with one of my customers to get a party booking, I would say something along the lines of, hey, Susie, I wanted to let you know I have a special going on in October. I'm actually giving away a 6-pack of bars for 50% off, or for $15 in October, if you're interested in getting a few girlfriends together for a fun Scentsy night. Let me know what you think. I still have a few available dates open. And that's literally all I say. Or let me know what you think and I'll let you know what my available dates are. Okay, so this is pretty much the process, right? Number one, I'm offering something tangible. I'm offering an incentive for them to book, okay? They want to know what's in it for them. Why am I going to take the time out of my day to book a party with you, to get all of my friends here and do all these things, when what's in it for me, right? So I always like to offer an incentive. Incentives meaning like a tangible prize or something that they get for booking, okay? Obviously, you always want to say with a qualifying party. But what I do is at that party, I close their party and I either use the rewards to give them their 6-pack of bars or whatever, or on every party, Scentsy gives you the perpetual party reward, right? That's 50% off an item, a bundle, whatever. So sometimes I will use that perpetual party reward, and yes, I will opt 50% out of my own pocket, depending on how well I think the party's gonna go, okay? But listen, let me tell you, if you offer somebody, let's say a mini fan, right? Oh, I'm giving away, let's say you post in your stories, you show them the mini fan, you plug it in the car, you give them a demonstration on what it looks like, right? This is the thing, you guys, it's not just like posting in a flyer or posting a picture about Scentsy, and then when you go to follow up with your customers, expect them to say yes. You got to share it. You have to show them that. You have to demonstrate it. Use video. I know so many of you are probably so scared to use video and to you know, I can understand that can be a scary thing, but what did I say? Like, growth does not happen inside your comfort zone. You have to push yourself, right? So in coordination with me offering things to my customers, I will also show things in my stories or my VIP group. I'll go live and I'll show them the latest like product that we have, right? And as I'm showing them these latest products or latest promotion, I end it with, oh, I'm giving this away, or I won't say I'm giving this away because you can't do that on social media, but I'll say, oh, I also have a special going on this month. Might want to message me because it has to do with this, right? Like kind of plant the seeds a little bit about what they're watching. So let's say it's a mini fan, $15, right? What's half of $15? So $7.50? To $7.50. Anyway, my math is terrible, but like, let's say it's a mini fan, right? That you're offering to somebody, right? You show them the mini fan, you're getting a lot of interaction on that. Then when you go to touch base with them, you could say, hey, I saw that you, I know you had that interest in the mini fan. I want to let you know I could actually get it for you for 50% off. I could get it for you for $7 this month. Or you can say, oh, I'm actually giving this away if you're interested in getting a few girlfriends together for a fun Scentsy night. Notice how I didn't say party. Notice how I didn't say host. Okay? If you're also telling people, oh, you should host a party. You should, you should join Scentsy. You should get that for free. You're telling them something that they should do, not what they want to do. Okay? So lingo matters. Wording matters. I'm telling you guys. What is in it for them? Okay, I'm giving this away. If you're interested in getting a few girlfriends together for a fun Scentsy night, I could totally hook you up and get you that for like $0 if you want. Something like that. Or I like to say 50% off. Because even if you say the 50% off, guess what? That's tangible. It's not, you're not saying free and half off. You're saying literally, hey, I'll get that for you for $7, or I'll get that for you for 50% off. Like, not only are you saying that and that's tangible, but now they are coming out of pocket with the perpetual party reward, not you, right? So there's so many different ways that you can offer incentives and fit it into your budget, of course. And there's ways to do it where they're coming out of the pocket and not you, right? So there's plenty of ways, but I always offer an incentive to get people to book. Okay. I always like give them something tangible, and I give them a reason, and I make it about them. That is number one, incentives. The second thing is you want to have your dates ready to go. Okay. Heather, your lingo's a hot mess. That's totally fine. That's why we're here to learn. Download the Boards app. I have so much lingo on that app for you to use and to copy to your customers, to tweak it, to make it sound like you, right? It does matter. Lingo does matter. Lingo is what makes a person spammy and salesy versus not, versus genuine and authentic. It can really make or break the success of you booking that party. Okay, so that's number one, is I offer incentives. Well, number one is the way you're saying it. Number two is incentives, okay? Give them a reason to want to book that party, whether it be a product credit, whatever. Like this time of year, just to keep staying on that for 1 second, is this time of year with like the new fall stuff, the new holiday collection. A lot of people, like, you should know your customer base. What do people normally buy? Most people buy, they love wax. Half the time, I mean, yes, I always want to introduce people to new customer or new products, but that's what I have Scentsy Club for. That's what I have my repeat mail outs for and things like that, where I will, touch base in my follow up to introduce them or send them samples of new products. But really, for the most part, people love wax and warmers. So usually in my incentives, I offer a warmer, or I offer like a 6-pack or a 3 pack of bars, okay? Something tangible. Don't say free and half off Scentsy. Don't say party or host, okay? So the lingo, how you're saying it, your incentive, and then front loading your calendar. You need to know your dates now. Period, point blank. You have to know them now. You cannot say to somebody, yes, let me know when you want to do a party, girl. Let me know, because the ball is in their court when you're doing that. And guess what? I don't even remember to freaking call my gynecologist. Sorry to say. I don't remember to call my dentist. What makes you think your customers are going to want to call their Scentsy consultant to book a party? They're not. It is your job as the consultant to touch base and follow up with them, and you run your calendar, okay? You don't tell them, hey, let me know when you want to do it, okay? Because what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, I'm going to do it. Now's not a good time. Maybe like in November or December, right? And then so much time has passed. By the time November and December rolls around, they've already forgotten about it, and they're probably not going to do it, okay? So creating urgency is key, okay? Every time I offer a special, I say happening this month. Okay, if you notice, again, I don't say party, I don't say host. I'll say, hey, Susie, just wanted to touch base. I wanted to let you know of a special that I'm running in October. I'm giving away a free 6-pack of holiday bars right now. They're some of our biggest sellers right now, and I wanted to see if you'd be interested in getting a few girlfriends together for a fun Scentsy night sometime in October or November, right? I'm putting the urgency on it, okay? When you don't put urgency and you're just like, yeah, let me know, there's no reason for them to want to do it. There's no reason for them to want to act on it, okay? Guys, think about your emails. How many emails a day do you get, spam emails, from short stores that you love to shop at? I just recently placed an order for my kids at Children's Place, okay? I have so many emails coming in right now from Children's Place. 60% off, online only, today, okay? Or next 24 hours, there is a flash sale. When we had the Scentsy flash sale, 24-hour flash sale, right? There's urgency. It makes people want to do it now because they know they have a time frame on it, okay? So that is your biggest asset when it comes to front loading your calendar and offering specials, is creating a time frame of when that offer is available. Okay, sometimes too, like at parties, when I'm doing that, like for a home party, for instance, like I will offer, like, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Let me not jump to that, okay? So incentives, right? Front loading your calendar, knowing the days that you have available. What you should do, my suggestion, if you do not have party days yet, is go on your calendar as soon as this training is done. Look on your calendar over the next, up through December, because this is a busy time of year. But generally speaking, I do the next 30 days out. I always plan my calendar 30 days ahead. But for the fall and winter, I book all the way through to December if I can, okay? But having those dates available will, so let's say you have somebody that says, yes, I want to do a party for sure. I would choose 2 or 3 dates from my party dates that are available on my calendar. And I say, awesome, I have the 10th, the 15th, and the 16th. Which is best for you? Okay, I'm giving them dates to choose from, okay? Again, you're making it simple on them. They don't have to be like, oh, wait, hold on, I have this going on, I have that going on. If none of those dates work that you give them, fine. Come up with another couple dates that you can give them, right? Good thing too with online parties, I find they don't really take up time on my calendar because I do a lot of like scheduling of my posts and stuff. But for home parties or bag parties, maybe you're gonna drop off a bag party to them or something like that. You want to have time on your calendar for certain things like that. But having the dates readily available so that when they say yes, you can solidify it and say, okay, these are the dates I have, which best works for you. Okay, so go on your calendar, block out all of your family time, all of your personal time, all of your time if you work a full-time job, or anything that's important to you that takes precedence over your Scentsy business, book out first, because that's why we do this business, is so that we could have what's called time freedom to be able to choose our schedule and do what we want, right? But any other time you have available where you can party, that needs to be your open availability, okay? Mark it on your calendar. If you use a planner, put a highlighter on it. I know when I was using a paper planner, green highlights were my party days because that means money. Green is money. Pink was pink was my family and personal time, and then like orange was like my husband's schedule or something, right? But I'm very intentional and I know my dates ahead of time so that I can offer that to my customers and say, these are the times. Plus, you're gonna come off a lot more professional when you do this. Your customers are going to see that you are in control of your calendar and you're somebody to be trusted. You're somebody who knows what they're doing and if you kind of create that scarcity where it's like, oh, these are the dates that I have left, it almost, again, it makes it feel like, oh, I need to get on it now because these are the only dates she has left. Like, for instance, I just recently went on my stories and I talked about partying, okay? This is just a little like side note and ninja hack, but on your stories, you can there's a question poll, okay? And again, I encourage you guys to do these things. Go on video. Video will literally change your business. It will literally change your business if you have your customers get to know you as a person, and not just talk about Scentsy and your specials and post the flyers, but go on and talk about you, your day. I just put up in here I think yesterday, 50 fresh content ideas for you to go on and talk about and post on social media. I have 1-2 for stories that I'm going to share on here for you guys. But stories can be a great way too, because it allows your customers to get a peek into your life, get a peek to know you. They develop the like, no trust factor. Okay, that's just an aspect to help you book the parties. But I mean, you don't have to do that, but it will help you so much more when you go to finally follow up and ask for the booking, because people will already feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you enough to want to support you, okay? But what I did was, so in the stories, there's a question poll. Okay, there's a question sticker. You can go to the stickers, put the sticker on there. And I told people to say, or I said, do you have any, like I talked a little bit about partying, and then I said, do you have any questions about partying? Okay. You know what I did? I answered my own questions. I went into the question, or I posted my own questions. You could do that too. And that's just, I'm sorry, I'm getting itchy all of a sudden. You can comment your own questions, right? So I posted my own questions on things that I know people would maybe have concerns about or ask about when it comes to partying or hosting a party. Like, I know that there's a stigma, like people will feel obligated. What if my friends don't buy? Like, those are things that I hear from people about hosting parties. So I went on and I said, what if my friends don't buy? And then what I did is the next story was me answering that question. And I saved all of that in a highlight on my Instagram. Now, again, this is getting a little technical with social media, but you can do things like that. You can kind of like address the elephant in the room, right? And do little things like that. I forgot why I was saying that. Why did I bring that up? I had a reason why I brought that up. But anyway, so like, oh, that's what I was saying. So like creating that urgency. So I went on my stories. I talked about hosting. All right. I kind of answered a little bit of questions about hosting. And then I had a special and I said, oh, I actually have a special going on this month. If you want to know what my special is, DM me the word freebie and I will let you know what that special is. Right. Or I said something, if you want to know what my special is in October. Okay. Or I think I even said I have a few dates open left in October and my November always books up fast. So if you want to know what my special is, DM me the word freebie and I'll let you know what that is. I actually had like 3 people DM me the word freebie. Okay. I didn't get all booked yet, but I did have 3 people message me what they want to know what the special was, because I created urgency. I said October. And then I said to them, and I always book up fast for November. Guys, your customers don't need to know how quick or what your calendar looks like. I'm creating urgency. I'm telling them that I book fast. Do I have a million parties out the wazoo, people lining up, banging down my doors to book parties? No. But I'm telling them, like, girl, November's a crazy month. You want to jump in on this now, okay? So again, it's just creating scarcity. It's creating urgency. It's having the right lingo, offering incentives, and knowing your calendar. The last thing I want to tell you guys is your list, because I know sometimes when you hear these things is like, okay, well, that sounds all fine and well, but I don't have anybody to ask. I am going to challenge you and say you are not asking enough people, okay? You are not asking enough people. I want you to really be honest with yourself and say to yourself, how many people am I asking at a time when I go to get the booking, okay? They say that there's power. Well, there is power in numbers, but they say that 1 out of every 10 people, generally speaking, are going to say yes. So if you have 4 dates on your calendar that you're trying to get booked, you need to be asking at least 40 people, okay? Go back through your order history. This is the best place to start, or with your current customer base, okay? The reason being is because they love Scentsy already. They've proven to you that because they've purchased with you, right? Your customers may purchase Scentsy from you, but your customers also have friends. Your customers also know people, okay, that they could introduce this to you to. So go to your order history, I say over the last 3 to 6 months, and touch base with them about that incentive, that special, that, you know, booking special for them to book, right? And you have to make a large list. You can't just make a small list and ask like 4 or 5 people and then be like, yeah, nobody wants to book a party, because you only asked 4 or 5 people. Those 4 or 5 people don't want to book a party, but that doesn't mean that every single person wouldn't, right? And listen, I've gotten myself in ruts like this too, where I feel like everybody I'm asking is saying no, or they're ignoring me. It's gonna happen. You just have to expect that you're gonna hear no, okay? That's just what it is. Don't get hung up on the no. Focus on the people who are saying yes. If they say no or not right now, okay, great, no worries. That's totally fine. Like, you could just literally leave it at that. You don't want to like badger people, of course, right? But there is power in numbers. So I do want to challenge you, if you have gotten no's, or you have people, maybe you feel like you don't have a lot of people to ask, go through your order history, okay? Don't base you asking them on what you think they're gonna say. Because I know I used to do that too. I used to be like, oh, I'm not gonna ask her because I know she's just probably not gonna do it. Or she works a full-time job, she doesn't have time for it. Or, you know, she's never partied with me before, so I'm not gonna ask her anymore. Or she said no to me in the past, so I'm not gonna ask her again. Don't prejudge and don't assume based off what you think the outcome's gonna be. You have to ask with assuming there's no outcome, okay? So ask. It doesn't matter if you've asked people prior. It doesn't matter if you think they're going to say no. You should still ask. Offer them. You have a great opportunity for them to get free and discounted Scentsy, right? Especially your customers. So start there. That's number one. I always like to say, you know, because I know sometimes people will be like, oh, my friends and my family don't want to order from me. Guys, your friends and your family are not going to build your business. I'm sorry to say it to you, but they're not. You can't rely on your friends and your family. I think my sister, in the past 7 years, my sister maybe has placed 1 order with me. 1 order, okay? She's never hosted a party with me. I've even tried to get my sister to join, because my sister, I think, would kill it with her personality, and she loves social media. I've tried time and time again, and then finally I gave up, and I said, I'm not gonna waste my time or my energy on people who just don't want to, right? Regardless if they're your family or not. We're not here to chase anybody. We're not here to bang people's doors down and say, you must buy Scentsy. You need to host a party with me. Go out and find new people, okay? I'm sure that there's people on social media that you connect with. I'm sure that whether you've known them in a past life or maybe you've connected, I mean, that's the thing too. It kind of goes hand in hand. You got to be like kind of networking and connecting with new people as well. So like, you know, I will make friends or follow people in other direct sales companies, right? Because I like, whether I scrolled upon a reel on their Instagram, or maybe we're in like a collaborative group together, and it feels right. I'm not just saying go and friend request random people because you want to be a spam-a-llama ding-dong. I'm just saying, like, make friendships with people where when it feels right, send the friend request, right? So I do things like that too. So if you're doing that, you're probably meeting new people on social media, or you're adding. Those are all people that you could potentially introduce Scentsy to. Now, again, it goes hand in hand, especially if what you're doing a lot is online. If you're being a spam-a-llama ding-dong and you are sharing just corporate Scentsy flyers, and you're posting your website and you're saying, buy this, buy that, here's a flash sale, here's what we have, here's what we have. Yeah, when you go to follow up with people, you're not going to get any yeses, because you haven't developed the like, no trust factor, okay? And listen, getting parties booked and partying in general should be done in a way where you don't have to rely on social media, but it does play a part if you're not leveraging social media effectively. So I hope that like the content idea thing that I threw up the other day does help you. I would definitely encourage you guys to really, like, if you want to build on social media, to start looking into social media marketing. There's so many tutorials, there's so many videos and trainings out there. There's people to follow on Instagram. I mean, there's so many like gurus out there who can help you with stuff like that, and who offer all sorts of free training too. So that's like a piece of it, right? But you ultimately have to be building relationships with your customers in order to want them to feel good enough to say yes, okay? And once they say yes, well, now you can really work on the party aspect, and you can dive more into how to get people there, how to keep the hostess engaged, the booking specials that you have, the opportunity and the promotions that you offer at the party, the intentionality of the party, right? That's a whole separate aspect. That's a whole other conversation. But getting the bookings are going to be key into you meeting people, because once you have these parties and you have like you're meeting people for your business, that's how your customer base grows. Because every person, let's say you have 10 people at every party over the next 4 weeks, that's 40 new customers in 1 month, right? Think about 40 new people. The next LTO that we have, the next special that we have, you can touch base and say, hey, Susie, hope you're, I'm not sure how you're doing on your Scentsy. It was so great meeting you at Sally's party. Or actually, before you get to the special, what I would do, so when I did Facebook parties, when I said prior, I'm almost done too, I promise I'm wrapping this up. But when I was doing Facebook parties, and I would be adding people to social media, regardless if the party made PRV or not, I still was adding those people to social media, because every person who attended that party, I would personally message them myself, and I would say, hey, Lisa, I just wanted to touch base. I'm Sally's Scentsy consultant. I'm so glad you're here, hanging with us. I'm so happy to connect with you, right? Like I would say that when she invited them, so that they're getting that initial introduction from me, so that they know who the hell this crazy person is who's sharing Scentsy. Like, why should I be here, right? I'm making a human connection. And then at the end of the party, I would touch base, whether they ordered or even if they didn't order. And I would say, hey, Sally, I wanted to tell you, thank you so much for hanging here on Susie's party. I always have specials and things going on. I would love to add you to my customer group if you want to be a part of that. And I'm always, sharing Scentsy things on social media. I'm going to add you on Facebook so it's easy to connect. And then I kind of let them know I'm going to add them, and then I send them a friend request, okay? Obviously, there could be people who ignore the friend request or ignore your message, but hey, I did my part. I was intentional in making that new connection. And that is the biggest thing, you guys. Parties can be great. Obviously, PRV is always a great thing because we want our paychecks to grow, but the connection and meeting new people is where that is going to stem from. And if you don't have new people consistently coming into your business is going to dip. It's going to die. It's going to fizzle out. And I don't want you to stay in that place. And I am only saying that because I know I've been there. I stopped partying for a long time. But I know that parties are key. Okay. Vendor shows are a great way to meet people, of course, but they're not like vendor shows. To me, they're just people passing, and you're lucky if you make that connection with them. You're lucky if they book a party on the spot. You're lucky if even you follow up with all your drawing slips and you hear back from people. One woman who actually ordered from me for my recent vendor show, she gave me her cell phone number, she gave me her email, but she didn't give me her address. And for me, I like to have my customer's address because I do happy mail. I do thank yous. I get them rolled into my customer mail out, which helps build my relationship. And this particular person ordered from me, but now I can't send her happy mail. So vendor shows are good, again, in the aspect that you can meet new people, but it's not, to me, it's not solid. At a party, I could show my personality to people. I could really show them what Scentsy is. I can make them fall in love with it. I can potentially book new parties from my party, right? Every party that you do, you should have an intention of having a booking special there, so that your intention is, okay, I'm having this party. My goal is to get at least 2 new bookings. Okay. Generally speaking, that's what I strive for. At a party, I try and get 2 bookings, whether it be a Facebook party, whether it be an online party. I always have a booking special at the party because it's my intent to continue to grow my customer base, to continue to have parties, to continue to meet people. You can't just party 1 month, like this month in October, and then not do it again in November. It's an ever-evolving cycle that we have to do every single month, you guys. But once you get in the rut, once you get in the rhythm of booking parties every month, I can tell you, you land one really good party where you have a few people book, it's going to set your business off. That is what happened with me. Remember when I said I had that horrible party that I walked away from, that I cried? I think my 3rd party that I had another one after that. I don't remember what really came of that, but I remember my 3rd party, I had 14 people there. I was ecstatic. I actually have I will see if I can download it. It's on the old Archives group, but it's my home party presentation from when I was a brand new consultant. I videotaped myself there because I wanted to share it with my team. But I remember there was 14 people there, and it was like a crazy, like the PRV was high. It was during the holidays, so like my PRV was insane. But I booked parties from that parties. I had at least 3 parties booked, and from there, that's how I started growing and meeting new people and booking more parties. Parties at the end of the day are truly the bread and butter of your business, guys, okay? So what this all boils down to is your intentionality of the party, how you were asking, the lingo and what you're saying, okay? The incentives that you're offering, giving them a reason to book a party, knowing your dates ahead of time, and then aligning that sort of with like what you're sharing on social media. Because as you invite, whether it be a home party, Facebook party, whatever, as you're intentional and about funneling people to your social media, that's where they're gonna get to know you. Social media is where they're going to get to build that like, no trust factor. But if you're just spamming, if you're just sharing pictures of Scentsy warmers, if you're just sharing the latest specials, that's not doing anything for you, okay? I want to help you be intentional. So as you're partying, think about ways that you can share your life and share who you are, your family, the things that you like to do for fun, your hobbies, the things that maybe you don't like, right? Like standing firm on your beliefs, whatever it is. What makes you you that you're sharing those things? And I really encourage you to use video. I know that this is sort of not a training on social media, but I really think that it does 100% make a difference in the growth of your business. Over just the past, I don't know, month or so, I've kind of like dipped back on social media. I've just been in a funk where I haven't been posting, but I finally was like, this is not conducive to my business. Like, I have to show up. Even if it's not every day, I still have to show up in order for like people to know about my business. They say if you don't talk about your business, you don't have a business, right? So you have to get on and you have to not just spam people with here's a promotion, but like talk about it. Go on your stories and show people how you're using the product. Show them how you're changing your wax today. Show them how you're, switching out your diffuser oil, or if you have the air purifier, how you are, changing out the filter, whatever. Or talk about how Scentsy's like changing your life today. If you're working on customer mail, say, hey, I'm working on this customer mail today. Like this, I actually have all my felt samples I got to get out to my customers. I might go on my stories later and be like, look at all my felt samples that I'm getting out to my customers. Right? I'm not trying to get them to order. I'm not trying to, like push a special on them. I'm literally just like referencing Scentsy. And I think that if you consistently do that, when you go to ask for the party booking, you are way more likely to get it because they already know you as the Scentsy lady. They already know you as the person that's like slaying her Scentsy biz. And so they're going to want to support you. People want to support people who show up. Okay? And so if you want them to show up for you, meaning booking parties with you, ordering with you, joining you, like you have to build it first. You have to show them that first. Okay? So I know I kind of drifted into social media, but I really do feel like it goes hand in hand. But more importantly, it's just getting parties on your calendar, guys. Drop some flames if you are ready to book your fall and winter, you guys. Like, book your calendars full. I really want to encourage you, drop some flames if you're ready to party this season and grow your customer base, because I know I am. I'm ready to meet more people for my business. We are in incentive season. It's time, you guys. It is time. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I'm always here to help you. And I hope that this was helpful for you. I'll talk to you soon. Go book all the parties.